Welcome to Sacred Space with Carol Ann. We're going to do a grounding practice today. The effects of COVID are long and far-reaching. And while we still battle, we're starting to see possibly a shift back into some sort of normalcy. As the vaccine has come on the scene now, and many people will be vaccinated, and hopefully we're moving toward an end of it. During this time, myself, as well as many people that I know, have been completely disconnected to their surroundings. We miss our family and friends. We're tired of isolation. We're tired of shopping online. We're tired of FaceTiming instead of hugging. So this has left us in a spiritual, mental, and physical fatigue. So this class today is going to be specifically to help us feel more grounded, more connected. It will be a little bit of a slower paced class, a little bit more relaxing, but still very challenging. We're going to begin in a meditation breath. So I want you to sit up nice and tall. You can sit in this modified hero's pose, or you're welcome to sit in an easy crisscross position, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Pull the lower belly in and lift the chest up, but don't get an exaggerated arc of the lower spine. Just roll the shoulders down the back. Sit up nice and tall. Dip the chin just a little bit toward the chest. Close the eyes and start to breathe naturally. Notice the inhale and exhale, the rise and fall of the chest, the spread and the reconnection of the rib cage, the ballooning of the belly and the belly sinking back toward the spine. To begin our grounding practice, we're going to connect to our surroundings. So keeping our eyes closed as we sit, I want you to feel the earth beneath you. Beneath your bum or shins, however it is that you've chosen to sit. Or perhaps if you're reclined and prefer to open in a reclining posture, how the shoulder blades, possibly the bum and the heels feel against the earth. Take a few breaths and settle in. Now start to bring some quality to your space. Perhaps noticing what sounds travel to you, not seeking sound, but seeing what comes to you, what you're attracting. Notice the air in the room, if it's cool or warm. How does the breath feel as it travels through the nose and out the nose? Connecting with our space. From this, I'd like to ask you to take a scan of the body from the roof of the head all the way down to the feet and see if there's any body part that stands out in some sort of discomfort or relaxation, or we just notice a twinge, a tickle, a pinch, things that we may not notice if we're active and moving. And if you've found some place of notice, see if you can soften that place. Perhaps bringing breath to that area of the body. Sending cool or warm air, depending on what it needs, past that body part in your mind's eye. Keeping the eyes closed, wherever your hands are, bring the thumb and the index finger together on each hand into a mudra, a focal point. Feel how the thumb and the tip of the index finger come together. What sensations does that bring to your body or to your mind? Feel your body. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the space around you and all that the qualities of that space bring to you. Sound, warmth or coolness. Connect completely. And as your mind wanders off, be kind to yourself and gently bring yourself back to the meditation. Allow the eyes to flutter open. And we'll do some soft and gentle movements in the seated position that you're in. Taking the left arm up into the air, reaching up toward the sky. As you exhale, just slightly bend toward the right. Coming up, hold on to the outside of the head on the inhale, and exhale, dip that ear toward the left shoulder. Bring that left arm back up into the air, and right hand holds on to the tricep. Bend the left elbow and gently give a little tug, stretching out the backs of the triceps. Dip the chin in toward the chest if that feels more comfortable, or if your head is perfectly fine neutral, hold it here. Breathe. Release that arm down. Hands come down by your sides and just roll your shoulders around just a little bit. One direction. Exhale, roll in the opposite direction. And next inhale, the right arm reaches up. Exhale, a little side bend over toward the left. Inhale, coming up, holding on to the outside of the head, and exhale that ear toward the right shoulder. Reach that right arm back up into the air on the inhale, and as you exhale, clasp on, bending that elbow, clasping onto the opposite side, and just give a little bit of a nice shoulder tricep stretch. And again, your neck is variable. Breathe in your space. Release the arms down by your side, and one more time we're going to roll the shoulders around one direction on your inhale, and exhale opposite direction. Beautiful. Come onto all fours in your space and line up your shoulders, your wrists, your knees, and hips. Pull the belly in, get a nice neutral spine. Inhale, let the left leg drift behind with the toes touching the earth, and exhale, push back. Inhale to come forward, raising that leg up to about hip height. And as you exhale, let that leg drift out toward the left, toes will tap. Drop down to the forearms. Arms are about shoulder width apart, and we breathe here, pulling that belly in. Feeling a nice stretch for the outer hip, the inner thigh. Gaze is soft between your arms. Hands are spread wide, and we're breathing. Opening up hip and inner thigh. keep this lowness of the posture and walk your hands over toward the right, adding a bit of a twist. We're in an angle here. Again, the arms are still about shoulder width apart, and we are down on those forearms, and we're going to hold here and breathe just a few breaths. Feeling the twisting action, but feeling very secure with the earth underneath us. Breathe in and out. Walk those arms back into center on the inhale. And as you exhale, reach that leg behind you up to hip height again. Inhale here, reaching and extending. As you exhale, bend the knee and push that foot up toward the sky. Feeling a deep connection of the knee to the earth, forearms to the earth. Inhale, that knee comes down. Open the knees wide and push back into a child's pose. Let the forehead come to or toward the earth and relax the arms. Feel the air in and out. Each breath bringing life and vitality. Inhale, coming back up onto all fours. Exhale, settling in, squaring off. Extend the right leg behind you up to hip height. As you exhale, drop the toes to the earth and push back. Inhale, reaching that leg up. And as you exhale, set it off to the right. Come down onto the forearms. Same spot. Hold here and breathe. Feel the difference between sides. Inner thigh, outer thigh. Gaze is soft. Belly's pulled in. Inhale, walk those arms diagonally off toward the left. And exhale to fold in. Breathe. Feel your breath. Inhale, walking those forearms back on. Reach that leg up. As you exhale, bend that knee and push the sole of the foot up toward the sky. Inhale, knee comes down. Widen your stance, and as you exhale, push back into our child's pose. Let the forehead come to or toward the floor. And this time, let's take our arms down by our heels and ankles, and then just allow the shoulders to soften, coming into a full back fold. Feel the rise and fall of the upper side back body on your breath, on your in and out breath. Reach the arms forward on the inhale. The gaze goes between the hands. And as you exhale, come up into your quadruped position. Curling up the toes, we lift our hips up and back, coming into down dog posture. Gaze goes toward the belly. You can make any little wiggling movements that you need to reawaken the backside body and just to bring some vitality into the backs of the legs. Shifting the hips perhaps. As you feel ready, you'll come into a settled position. Now let's feel our grounding place here. So I want you to spread your fingers very wide here. Press the thumb and the index and the middle finger deeply in to the mat. Curl the biceps in toward the ears a little bit. Let the heels push to the floor. If they don't reach, that's perfectly fine. You're still pushing them down toward it. Pull the belly in. Lift the hips up just a tiny bit more and shift the torso back toward those thighs. Let the gaze go up toward the belly. You can have your eyes open or shut. So we have all this beautiful connection to the earth. Feet, hands, fingers, toes. Everything is sinking down into a stable place. Couple of more breaths here.
look forward between the hands, and as you inhale, just walk your feet toward your hands. Doesn't matter how many steps that we take. Get those feet just slightly wider than hip width apart, so we have a fairly good base standing. From this forward fold, I want you to lift your toes up a little bit and spread them out, and then drop them back down. Place the hands on the hips, pull the belly in, bend the knees slightly, and inhale, reach, coming up into a standing pose. Once we get into our standing posture, we come into a mountain pose with our feet just a little bit farther than hip width apart. Our gaze is soft, eyes are open or shut. The belly is pulled in. The breath is strong, it's vital. Next, inhale, reach those arms up. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, dip the chin in toward the chest on the exhale. Keep the chin dipped in as you inhale. Really extend the arms away from you. And as you exhale, side bend twist a little bit toward the right. Inhale to come up. And exhale, side bend twist a little to the left. Inhale comes up into our neutral place. As we exhale, release the hands, clasp them behind our backs, interlace the fingers again, and pull the knuckles down toward the earth, lifting the chest. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and come into a bit of a back bend here, but still feeling that nice wide stance. And as we exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Let our torso come between our legs just a little bit. So really folding in deeply. Arms are coming up and overhead. Gaze goes toward the belly. Feel the connection of the feet to the earth. Release the hands. Keep the squat. Bring the fingertips in front of you. Widen your feet out just a tiny bit more and possibly come into a malasana posture, a nice deep yogi squat. So we want to have a couple of things that we want to work on here. We don't want to be rounded and hunched over. So once we get into this position, if we're able to get our elbows kind of inside those legs a little bit better, that's going to be better for our bodies. And we're going to, straighten that spine, lifting that up. Hands can be. All right, now I can hear through the airwaves some of us saying, oh, I can't get there. That's okay. This is your position. If you can't get there, just put your forearms down on your legs and just squat in. If you're in this position, shift your hips back just a little bit, not so much on the front of the toes, so we can really feel it back there in those hips. So this position is perfect. This position is perfect. We find ourselves and where we need to be, feeling our space around us. A couple of more breaths here. In whichever squatted position that we were in, just come out of it, bringing the hands to the floor. So for those of you who are here, see if you can reach between. If you need to straighten your legs more, that's perfectly fine. Coming up into a nice half lift, we lift our chest forward. Exhale, walk the hands back on the insides of the feet. Rock a little toward those front toes so we can continue to feel all four corners of the feet on the earth. And then just let the head drop. Bring the chin a little toward the chest and just kind of shake the head no just a little bit. You can nod the head yes. And from this pose, place the hands down. Send the left leg back to the out edge corner of your mat. So you have your right foot on the edge corner, you have the opposite foot on the opposite edge corner, both hands are on the inside. Square off the hips here, really pulling that front hip back. Inhale to reach the chest forward. And as we exhale, we're going to lift our hips up a little bit, and we're going to round our spine, and gaze goes back to the belly. Inhale, back down into your lunge. Chest lifts. Exhale, rounding over, those hips lift up just a little bit. And we'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling into neutral pose. Exhale down to that left knee. Walk the hands up, place it on the other knee, and as you exhale, shift the hips forward just a bit. We're still in this nice wide stance with our legs, getting a beautiful inner and outer thigh stretch. Pull your belly in and reach the arms up into the air, nice and high. As we exhale, we're going to shift up toward the sky and then fold over into this bit of monkey pose with a wide stance. Inhale, the arms come back up, Anjaneyasana. And exhale, hands come down again into the inside of the leg. Come up through your low lunge and step the front foot back. Drop down to the knees, the chest and the chin. Inhale, slide forward into cobra pose. Exhale, bend the knees, come up on those back toes. Push the hips back toward the heels. Forehead comes down. Inhale up onto all fours. Exhale, lift the hips up and back into down dog pose. Gaze that goes between the legs or up toward the belly. And inhale, the left foot steps to the outside of the left hand. Step the back foot just a little bit more to the edge of the mat. And we're in this beautiful low lunge here on the opposite side. Hands are on the inside. We'll inhale to reach the chest forward. As we exhale, we're going to round over, coming into that nice rounded lunge stretch. Inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, down and round. Last one. Inhale to reach the chest. Exhale, round. Inhaling into neutral. Exhale down to that right knee. Walk your hands up on the inhale. Exhale, settle out the hips. Reach the arms up into the air into our Anjaneyasana. And as we exhale, shift forward, coming through that monkey pose. Inhale, reaches back up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to your surface. Inhale up through the low lunge. As you exhale, step that back foot to the outside. Return back to that nice squat. So again, you can be up high here. You can have the hands down and the hips reaching, or you can come into the full squat. Get the chest lifted up high if you're in this full squat, and really roll the shoulders back. Belly is pulled in. Breathe. Reach those hands down to the earth if you're in this full squat. And if you're in the other one, get the fingertips, straighten the legs on the inhale, coming into a nice half lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive, bend the knees, reach the arms up toward the sky. And as you exhale, bring the hands into heart center and your feet underneath you, hip width apart. Widen those toes again. Drop them down, feeling all four corners on the earth. Release the arms to the sides in our strong mountain pose. Belly is pulled in. Lift the chest up on the inhale. Roll the shoulders down the back on the exhale. Arms come up to the sky. Exhale, fold over. Gaze to belly. Inhale, coming into half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands and step back into a down dog pose. Down dog pose. Inhaling into plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the earth. Slide the legs back and the chest up on the inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Come up on the back toes. Push into a child's pose. Inhaling up into all fours. Exhaling back into our down dog pose. Right leg comes up toward the sky. As you exhale, bring that foot between the hands. Square off the hips. Lift the chest. Inhale, the back leg is going to come with the knee behind the front leg, and we'll come to sit on the outside of the right hip, holding on to the front of the shin into this pose of nobility. Nice and tall here. Feel the sits bones on the earth. Wrap the right arm around, left arm behind. Inhale, lifts the chest. Exhale, we come into this twist with the gaze behind us. Continue to feel the sits bones on the earth. Breathe. Inhale, coming forward. And as you exhale, do the best you can. Get the hands. That back leg is going to reach up to the sky. Level off the hips here. So it's a very modified Warrior 3 pose. Feel all of the weight on the front leg. So we feel very strong, very connected to the earth. The raised leg, the toes are pointing down. If it's uncomfortable to have your hands by your feet, you can walk them toward the front of the mat just a little bit more. Square off those hips because you're going to want to try to hike that back hip up a little bit. So do your best to square them off here. Feel the security, even in a wobbly situation. Inhale. That right leg steps back. We find ourselves in this nice low lunge. And pull all your belly in and reach up into a high crescent lunge on the inhale. As we exhale, we'll go through our monkey pose, reaching the arms behind us. Inhale, coming back up to our crescent lunge. And as we exhale, we'll spin open, coming into Warrior 2 pose. Can we let the arms be strong and the hands a little bit soft, not so stiff? Work the outside back edge and the front full foot into the earth, pressing in. Perhaps the knee bends a little bit more, and it's perfectly fine if it doesn't. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Gaze is soft. Inhale, coming back up into our high crescent lunge. As we exhale, the hands plant. Step back into our down dog pose. Breathe. Left leg rises on the inhale. And as we exhale, we bend that knee, bring the foot between the hands, squaring off the hips. Nice lunge here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, the back leg steps up to the front, behind, settling on the outside of the left hip, and we come into our pose of nobility. Nice tall stance here. Inhale, wrap the left arm around, the right arm goes behind, and we gaze and twist behind us. Breathe. Inhaling back into center. We unbind ourselves, doing our best. Reach that right leg up into the air. Our modified Warrior 3 pose. Setting up, squaring off our hips. Your hands can walk away or they can walk closer to the foot, wherever you feel the most security. Really do our best to square off the hip. Let that left leg be reaching behind us. Breathe. Belly's pulled in. Stable feet. Next inhale. Left leg steps back. We're in the nice lunge here. Pull all of your belly in as you inhale, reaching up into this high crescent lunge. And as we exhale, we go over and through our monkey pose. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, open up. Warrior 2.
Arms are straight and strong. Hands are a little soft. Back of the back foot pressing outside edge. Front foot pressing in. And we split the mat with our legs. Feeling the strength and the power. Inhale, coming back up into our high crescent lunge. And as we exhale, our hands come down. Step back into a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and shin. Inhale, slide the chest up. Exhale, bend the knees. Push back into modified child's pose. Inhale up onto all fours. Exhale, up and back, down dog pose. Right leg steps halfway on the mat. Left leg steps up, squaring off, and walk the fingertips underneath the shoulders. Squaring off the hips, right here in this beautiful pose. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, we're going to let the top foot drift behind the right, settling both feet on the floor, and fold over. Inhale, reach that leg back up. And as we exhale, we drop it down to the earth. Walk the hands back into our pyramid pose, squaring off the hips, and fold over that front leg. Bend that front knee for security. Walk the hands to the front. Reach that leg back up into the air, just right where it was. And as you exhale, step it to the front of the mat. Square off the hips. Fold over. Inhale, lifts the chest up. And as we exhale, plant the hands and step back into your down dog. Gaze to the belly. Breathe a few rounds of breath. Right leg rises up on the left leg rises up on the inhale. As we exhale, we step it to the middle of the mat, reaching that right leg up into the air, getting our hands settled wherever we feel stable. Square off the hips, gaze is below us. Breathe. Inhale, drop that foot behind the front. Exhale, push back into this hamstring stretch. Both feet on the floor. Inhale, reach that leg back up exactly where it was. And as you exhale, drop it down to the earth. Square off the hips, folding over into our pyramid pose. Breathe. Inhale, coming back up, leg to flight. And as you exhale, step it to the front, square off the hips, fold. Breathe. Inhale, back foot steps up to join. Bend the knees, place the hands on the hips for stability, and we'll rise up, coming into a strong mountain pose. Rolling the shoulders back, breathing. If your eyes are closed, just open them up. And we're going to talk about some standing balance postures. Standing balance postures are wonderful because they help us find out where our instabilities are, and we learn to be connected and strong while our bodies fluctuate and move just a little. That's off the mat teaching. Our lives fluctuate on a daily and moment-to-moment basis, but yet we can still feel connected and rooted and strong in that. So we're going to shift all of our weight toward our left leg. Put the hands on the hips, suck the belly in deeply, and bring the right knee up just to hip height and flex that front foot. Now feel the fluctuations of the standing leg. Pull the belly in and keep it pulled in. A nice tight core helps us with our balance. We can also reach our arms up into the air. Find a spot in our room that's not moving, finding a nice stability as our body fluctuates just a touch. Bring that thumb and index finger together here and open the triceps toward the face just a little bit. Find deep stability in our state. Inhale, dropping that front foot over the top of the other one. Hands are going to return right back into our hips. We inhale to lift our chest toward the sky, and as we exhale, we're going to fold over the front legs. Again, feeling the fluctuations of the legs, but yet still rooted deeply into the standing spot. And pull the belly in, coming back up into standing position. Exhale to release. We'll straight away go to the other side. So all the weight is going to shift into the right leg. Pull the belly in tightly and reach the left leg up just to hip height. Find a gazing point that's soft. Keeping our hands here if we don't feel steady, but perhaps we can reach our arms into the air. Pull the belly in. If we lose the belly, that's where we lose more balance. Bring the thumb and the index finger together and turn the biceps in slightly toward the face. Breathe. Inhale, allow that front leg to drop over the other. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips and fold. Nice, stable pose. Keep holding the hips, pull the belly in. Come back up to the top. Unbind yourself. Release. Let the hands open into our strong mountain pose. Breathe. Reach the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Send the left leg back. Low lunge. Square off your hips. Pull your belly in and reach and rise up into our high crescent lunge. Inhale, open the arms out into a T. Exhale, right arm underneath left. And come into eagle arms. If the hands touch, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. Just do your best. Get nice and rooted with our arm posture. Pull the belly in. And reach the elbows forward. Lift the hands up. So we're arcing up, and maybe the gaze can follow softly. Breathe. Inhale. Move forward over that front standing leg. Really pull the belly in. Root into the floor as you fold to the inside of that front leg with the eagle arms. Pull the belly in tightly. Come back up into our nice, strong position, arcing up. Exhale, release the arms out into the T. And as you exhale, bring the chest forward and the arms behind into a standing monkey pose. Inhale, up, high crescent lunge. And exhale, open up, warrior two pose. Once again, Outside back foot, front foot is pressing into the floor. Breathe. Gaze is soft. Windmill the arms around, coming into our low lunge, and we'll step back into a down dog pose. Gaze goes forward. Bring the opposite foot up to the front. Left foot comes to the front. Square off those hips. Very steady posture. Pull the belly in and reach the arms up into the air. Inhaling, square off those hips. Exhale, bring those arms out into a T. Inhale, the opposite fold. Left arm under right. Hands come together. Lift the fingertips up and the elbows back, and we raise up. Eagle arms. Exhale. Start to fold forward, rounding over. Arms come to the inside. Pull the belly in tightly. Inhale to raise, coming back up, using the strength and power of the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaches the arms up. And as you exhale, open up, warrior two pose. Sink the hips. Work the outside edge, front foot deeply in. Breathe. Back hand. Windmills around. We come into our low lunge. Exhale, step back, down dog. Breathe. Inhale, coming forward into a plank. Exhale, down to the knees, open them wide. Push back into child's pose. Let the forehead come to the floor. Roll up. Come to sit on the bum. I'm going to face you. Extend the legs out in front of you. Get the butt flesh out of the way and shake out the legs. Right leg is going to cross over left knee, so knee on top of knee. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can fold the bottom leg and come into our cow face pose, knee on top of knee. Sit here, be fine, perfectly fine and comfortable. Or if you'd like to add in the arms, you reach the arms out to the side. Right arm goes underneath left, hands come together. We lift the fingertips up, arcing our spine toward the sky, just like we did in our standing poses. And as we exhale, we're going to round over. Hold here for a few rounds of breath with the eagle arms and the hips. Or if you just got the hips, that's fine. Or even if you just have that one leg, the bottom leg straight out in front of you, that's perfectly fine. Breathe. Inhale to unbind the arms. Reach those arms out and up toward the sky. Thumbs touch. Exhale. Right hand comes down. We'll side bend a little bit. Really working into the hips, landing on the floor. Open the chest up to the sky. Maybe a little gaze goes up. And next inhale. Opposite hand comes up. Thumbs touch. Exhale. Side bend opposite side. Now one thing we need to do, keep both hips on the floor. So don't rock forward and unconnect those hips. Really want to make sure that everything stays connected. Open up the chest. Oh, yeah. And release, coming up. Take the legs out in front of you. Bounce out any tensions. You can also bring the soles of the feet to the floor and kind of windshield wiper the knees a little bit. We're going to go with the other side and getting close to closing out the class. So we'll start with bringing the left leg on top of the other one. Just going to the opposite side. And folding the bottom leg underneath. Beautiful. Reach those arms out into a T if we want to go into the opposite side. And then go the opposite cross of the arms. Fingers come together. Lift up toward the sky. Inhaling. Exhale, round over. Breathe. It feels so different one side to the other. And release, coming up. Reach those arms out and up in the air. Thumbs touch. And we'll go with the opposite side. So we'll exhale, side bend toward the right this time. Excuse me, toward the left this time. Breathe. Inhale, comes up, thumbs touch. Exhale, opposite side. Make sure that other hip doesn't reach up. It likes to do that. Sneaky little hips. Breathe. Come up, unbind the legs again. You can bring them out in front of you again and bounce them out. Or you can put the soles of the feet on the floor and just kind of windshield wiper out the legs just a touch. Come into a butterfly pose. Feet come together. Hands can come to the inside of the shins or the inside of the feet. Open them up like books. Get the spine really tall, lifting the chest on the inhale. And as you exhale, shift forward and fold as much as you're able to without rounding the spine. So you don't want the shoulders to hike up. Sometimes we do that, but today we're not. So really lift the chest and reach over. Gaze is soft. Feel the sits bones on the earth. Breathe. Inhale to come up. And this time, oh, so heavenly. Slide your hands underneath your legs, holding on to the outside of the feet and round your body over. Let the shoulders reach up to the sky. Yes. Do whatever feels best and comfortable in your body. Release our hands and roll up. We'll come into a seated meditation for our close, so you can find again whatever comfortable position works best for you. I'm going to go into the modified hero's pose. That one seems to work best for me. Roll the shoulders down the back. Get up nice and tall. Pull the belly in. Open your hands, palms up to the sky. Inhaling, receiving beautiful, full, lively breaths. Feeling the effects of the practice, mentally, physically, emotionally. Finding challenge and softness, stability and connection. Then close the palms to the thighs, sealing in that connection into our spirits. Breathe soft but full. Be grateful for breath, body, spirit. Keeping the eyes closed, bring the hands into heart center, Ujjali Mudra. Dip the chin in toward the chest. Breathe out. I bow to you, you bow to me, and together we say,
Namaste.
thank you and join me again. Don't forget to subscribe.